Okay, we're back. This is another episode of From B to Z.
Z, even though we're Canadian, it should be Z, but it wouldn't make sense if it's from Z to bed.
Yeah. So we were talking about that earlier. Basically, we never talk about the fact that we're Canadian, do we? Like, we just talk about Canadian
We just
shit.
know we're Canadian.
Canadian. I just thought about that because I was like, you know what I see online a lot? I see, like, people just always assuming. So people kept assuming, like, on my TikTok that I'm, like, American. And I'm just like, no, what the fuck? It's like, anyways, I'm not going to go into that because it's like, we're going to start making fun of it. I don't want to do that. But, so, what? Sorry, what?
I was just going to say, we're so Canadian, our blood cells are red and white.
I mean, I hate your dad jokes. Z!
Dad jokes.
So Z got me this lovely mug for my birthday, which was in December. By the time this episode is posted, it's going to be like fucking, I don't know, March. But, what? Sorry? Excuse me?
No,
is someone saying something?
It's
Does someone
a very
need the
lovely
mic?
mug, very fitted for a bee.
Are you saying it's going to take you till March to edit this?
No, but it's not going to be posted till March because...
I think she's taking a shot at us directly. What's that about?
I'm sorry, Alex, is this your segment? Is this your segment? Excuse me?
Yeah.
Love you.
So...
Alex is here in the background, just so he knows this is his first time watching our segment. So we're going to see how that goes. That's why we have this here as a safety net. It's ready for you. It's ready. We all know that when you're on set, this has to be here. This is the Alex buzzer.
But now it's also on ours too, so just in case.
Just in case we cancel ourselves by accident.
Either of us.
Anybody ever threw a banana at you guys?
No, but don't do it.
Only at Mario Kart.
Quick comment. Make sure you guys are grabbing the mic when you talk as much as possible.
Absolutely.
Because I did try, when I was editing the last episode, I did try really hard to hear what everyone was saying in the background. And I think I got it, but there were some moments where I totally didn't hear what, like, some people say. The problem was, like, there were times where people were making, like, little comments. Little comments that we did respond to, but they weren't using the mic. So as much as you guys can, honestly, I know when the conversation flows, it's not always possible, so it's fine.
That's true.
This is supposed to be a podcast, not an instruction on how to do a podcast.
I'm gonna dox you.
How to podcast 101.
Mr. Chopper! Fucking Chopper! I had to fucking chop your fucking name out in the last episode.
Swipe!
Okay, this is from B to Z. This is not from Chopper to B. Okay, get out. Okay, so what we were gonna start off with was concert stories.
Yes.
Because I went to a concert last night. And I literally have whiplash, and I just realized that I'm an old woman now, and it makes me so fucking sad because I headbang once now, and I feel like I'm gonna die. I had a hot compress on my neck today. Oh, no. I had to take a break from work. I had my legs up on the couch. I see your face over there. Okay, so I literally was on the couch with like a hot compress and I was like, I'm dying. What did you say? What? Huh? You know he doesn't listen to me, right? He just literally doesn't listen and just says things.
We just have to tune them out.
Yeah, we gotta pretend they're not there. So, so we were gonna tell concert experiences. So last night was actually kind of fucked up. Honestly, I'm gonna say this with no shame. Fuck Hamilton. Fuck Hamilton. What is the... What? Excuse me, who are you? That's right. On my side. Okay, who in the fuck decided that you open concert doors at 5 p.m. on a Thursday? And you don't write that on your fucking tickets, okay? This is what literally had me so pissed off. So the ticket, whenever I get concert tickets, it says the time the doors open. Yeah. So when I saw 6 o'clock, I'm like, okay, doors open at 6 o'clock. And you know they're never fucking punctual. Okay,
generally,
because you go, doors open at 6, takes them like half an hour to get ready, and then by the time they get ready, sometimes there's like issues on set.
Of course.
So we showed up at like 6:30, 6:40. Traffic was horrible, right? Because it's fucking rush hour. Like from 5 p.m.
It's a weekday.
Yeah, 5 p.m. to 6 on a Thursday, trying to get there.
Even with the HOV lane.
And when I showed up, well, actually, we took the what is it? The 407 that's paid.
Yeah,
we took the 407 because my friend had like the thingy,
the
and she's one of those people that like puts it up like that instead of on the dashboard. Anyways,
Whatever works.
When we showed up, one of the bands started. It was Hollywood Undead, and I'm like a new fan now. Like, I didn't like them in high school, but now I'm like a new fan of them because they were actually really good. Why are you laughing, Jordan? Get the mic. I want to know why you're laughing, actually.
Just let him chuckle.
There might be something I don't know, though.
Oh.
No reason in particular. I just know the band and just songs started playing in.
Oh, the funny.
There's a lot of songs.
Their songs are really funny. So, and they have a great stage presence. And honestly, the concert was amazing because, like, you know what they fucking did?
Let's hear
fucking Tyrell. I'm so.
They started fucking the person named Tyrell?
No.
Oh, okay.
So what happened was, they were on stage, and then one of them, the singer, I don't remember his name, he went up and he was like, who here can shred the fucking guitar really good? And he was like, the people in the crowd were putting up their hand or whatever. He's like, come on, you. And then you know, he was just like making fun of people. And then at some point he called Tyrell up on the stage, and it was like a fan. Okay. And the guy had a cowboy. He was like, you with the cowboy hat. He comes up, he's like, what's your name? He was like, Tyrell. And he was like, yo, you know how to shred the guitar? And he was like, I'm playing bass. So he's like, oh, fucking boring. And then he was like, all right, man, well, you know, you're gonna get laid tonight, right? And then he just like gave him one of the guy's bass, and the guy started fucking going, and he was really good, and he was
literally shredding
it. Nice. And then I was sitting there, I was like, oh my god, I was like fucking freaking out. And then at the end he was like, all right, Tyrell, that was fucking awesome, you know how to shred it, now you stay up here and dance with us for the next song. And he literally was up there dancing, and I was like, these guys are fucking sick. Like, they actually get their fans involved. And then Tyrell had his cowboy hat, and he went like this. and then one of the guys came and like took the hat and was like, it was so fun. But
so that's worth the concert experience. You
yeah,
know? Like,
but
overall.
And people had beach balls during Hollywood Undead. Were like throwing beach balls at each other, so it was like such a wild ride. Anyways, but then you know, I was there mainly to see Ronnie Radke live because I've never seen Ronnie Radke live.
Fair.
And I think I told you about it. He is in Falling in Reverse, but he created the band Escape the Fate, went to jail for a little while, and came back with Falling in Reverse, and I've never seen him live. And it's like, I don't even know if he's ever been to Canada in like the last 10 years, but I was
we
like,
also did have a couple years of COVID.
dude, I fucking like lost my fucking voice. I was like screaming. I was like standing up, and when Roddy was there, I was like, Roddy! It's like a loser. And so,
fair.
But he was so adorable because it's like he was so fucked up in the past, and now I feel like he's really like humbled a lot.
Okay, that's
and
good
at the
to
end
hear.
of every song, like, you know, he's fucking screaming. He's like, fuck you, fuck bitches, and then at the end he was like, thank you. I'd like just this really quick like, thank you, and he would be standing straight when he did it. And I'm like, yo, that's cute.
His like little Canadian mannerism came
He's-
a little bit.
I don't know if he's not Canadian.
No, I know, but I'm saying like because
because he was in
like,
Canada, he's like
a little influence and stuff.
he was saying how one of the band members was half Canadian. I'm like, okay.
Oh, okay.
So I'll finish it off with like Papa Roach was a headliner. And at least I thought they were headliners. When they came up, I was like, where the fuck is Escape the Fate? Because I also hadn't seen them in like 10 years. So I was super excited to see them. And Papa Roach came on. I'm like, there's no way that they're not headlining. But by the way, while Papa Roach was playing, Hollywood Undead ran on at some point, and then they had a fucking like, both of them were singing. They were like, it was so good, man. It was so good. And so at the end of it, I made friends with the first spill of the night. Every time.
You're fine.
It's fine. I'm just covered in alcohol.
Yeah.
So,
good thing you're not driving.
I never drive. Remember?
I know.
So, when Papa Roach finished, the guy that I made friends with next to me, he was like, because we were like headbanging together and dancing together, like, ah. And so then at the end, he was like, well, it was like, give me your hand. It was high five. He was like, well, it was awesome. Like, this was great hanging out with you. And then I was like, I said to him, I'm surprised that Papa Roach wasn't headlining. And he was like, they did headline. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, what about Escape the Fate? What the fuck? And he was like, dude, they already played, man. He was like, you weren't here. You came late. And I was like, the doors open at 6. I got here at 6:30. When the fuck did they play? And he was like, they open at 5, man.
Oh my god.
And then I literally shut down, and I was like, and he was like, I'm so sorry. Like, he felt so bad. He was like, broke the fucking news to me. And I was just like, I literally, I came to see them and Falling Universe. Obviously, Hollywood Undead was amazing. Papa Roach was amazing. So like I'm like a huge fan now. But still, I hadn't seen them in 10 years. So that's all I have to say. I'm so pissed I missed them. And that was my night last night. Now I have Whiplash. So what about you?
Well, I've only been to 2 concerts. I mean, there was the free ones from Frosh Week during Ryerson University.
Frosh.
I know, right? Like
Frosh.
way back when.
Of course you went to Frosh.
Yo, we actually had great artists performing. We had Fifi Dobson, Sean Kingston. He brought the house down.
This?
Ryerson.
Ew.
And Myrrania's Trench.
What?
That's what I'm saying.
Are you at Frosh Week?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
I went to U of T Frosh Week. No, I didn't go. I wanted to go. But my friend went and told me about it. It was literally like, oh, they played games and they made friends.
Yeah. I mean, like, it was just one of those nights that had them. And so it was really
you guys
great.
Had,
like, I saw them live.
Celebrities.
I know. Like, the committee was actually really good with having them on board and stuff. So it was really nice. I went by myself, but I didn't care because I was very focused on the concert and the music and just vibing.
Yeah.
But it was still like a very, new experience for me. And then my first official concert was Shawn Mendes, and that was 2019. He came.
That was your first official concert?
Yeah, aside. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
You didn't go before?
I don't go to concerts often because I
thought you did.
I never understood them or understood the thrill, and then after experiencing that, I understood it because it's like everyone's in the same energy, and you're feeling that. So yeah, I did see Shawn Mendes.
Yeah.
Camila Cabello came on, which a lot of people were expecting as well.
I don't know what that is.
Oh
my god, Chopper looks so offended. Chopper looks
okay.
so offended.
She's just.
By the way, my ring spins.
You know her, Havana.
Yeah, I know her. Yeah. I only know that one song.
Oh, okay. Most people do. But yeah, so she was performing, and then they had their song. They had Senorita together, which was really cute, and the lights turned off, and then they.
Sorry, can I just really I love this ring. It has my Instagram name on it.
I don't think the camera.
And I don't care. I'm just gonna say it has my Instagram name on it. It has my Instagram last name on it, and it spins. Okay, anyways, what?
Her own fidget
What?
spinner.
I just want to inform you that this poor guy has been waiting for this podcast forever, and you won't even let him finish a fucking sentence.
Can I just fucking say, it's none of your fucking business, Chopper. All right? What I do on my B to Z with Z is none of your fucking business.
I'm used to it. It's fine.
He
I'm
loves
persistent.
Me. He loves me.
And I'll hold my thoughts.
He loves me being annoying and ADHD.
Little heart.
Because we're both the same way. No, you don't have
Thank
to.
you, I appreciate it.
Okay, our friendship's stronger than that.
I'm just gonna say, for the next podcast, I might invest in either duct tape or a muzzle or both. No, I'm kidding.
For who? Me?
No, for Misha.
Yo, yeah. You're such a fucking liar. Misha's my dog, by the way. Yeah. You're not allowed to harass my dog. I thought you were talking about Chopper.
No.
Do I really have to call you that? It sounds too cool
fine,
to be your name.
Chopper just reminds me of Line Before Time. No, that's Chomper. Wait, is that Chopper?
Yeah,
Chomper?
let's call him Chomper. What?
But
what?
As I was saying,
Okay, yeah.
about so the
Don't
Shawn
let him
Mendes concert was a very, very thrilling experience. It was really nice to be in the same atmosphere of everyone liking the celebrity and also like all the songs and kind of connecting them with in that sense. It's very different than like going to a club and the club is just playing random music.
Like, blah, blah, blah,
it's like you kind of vibe with some music and some people because they'll hit the song harder than others. But it's like this one is like everyone you meet is just in a positive mood, positive energy. And then the second concert, which was a surprise thanks to a very, very good friend of mine, who brought me to Lady Gaga back in August. And we were high up in the balcony, but it didn't matter because
I saw your Instagram stories.
Yes, yeah, it was such a thrilling experience, and the whole experience overall, like seeing Gaga perform, she's a complete entertainer, and she killed the show for those Lady 2 Gaga. Hours, and they had flames coming up, and from row like 3, 4, or 500, you could feel the heat, and that was like phenomenal. So that's an experience.
When other people in the front felt, it must have been like fucking.
Yo, they were barbecued. They were like barbecued. Well done. Yeah.
Well done.
Shish kebab. Yeah.
But that's the one thing with concerts I love. So with rock concerts, I don't know if you've been to one. I should take you to one. I don't know. Like you don't have to really join in on the moshing and all this stuff. But
I will go to the mosh pits with like 3 layers of bubble wrap.
People will just pass you around like
That's fine.
Literally, you'll be like the beach ball. You'll be like, oh my feet. So the one thing that I liked about concert was definitely the vibe, because it's and in rock concerts, like I remember I was really scared in the beginning of like what would happen to me in a mosh pit, because you know you always hear the horror stories like I broke my ribs, you know,
it's like
the only
SpongeBob.
time literally
my leg.
but literally the only time that I ever almost broke my ribs was when I was crowd surfing and someone dropped me. That was the only time.
That would do it. Yeah, for sure.
And that was, I would say crowd surfing is the most risky, but it's the most fun. At least one part of you will be cool.
Don't you dare go there. Or sweaty body.
My sweaty body.
But question: Do you think that the fan noise overpowered our loud vocal voices?
Our screaming?
Yeah, like literally, like we're like
It'll just be a super annoying sound.
we're like arms reach away. But I know
We'll
what
just
you mean.
be like,
Yeah.
ah!
No,
You know, actually, my friend that you know that I was texting, so when we were in the car and the music was playing, she kept making the music louder and louder, and my voice kept getting louder and louder, and she stopped the music. She was like, B, I swear to God, you were Spanish in a past life.
Yeah, careful, don't kick it, okay?
Yeah. So she was
Is that
like,
good?
you were Spanish in a past life because you are so loud and your voice is overpowering the music. And I was like, that's just Polish people.
And I'm Arab. Like
We're loud.
We're loud, like just
Polish
in general.
people, you know-
because we the thing is with us, we're passionate.
Yeah.
So when we talk with our bodies,
But
our
you know
emotions,
what's
our thoughts,
funny?
our
It's
hands,
like the thing is,
everything.
it's like with Polish people, like in Eastern Europe, we're considered like the hicks of Eastern Europe. Like everyone else is like the posh,
Hicks?
like literally. So like we.
I think Eastern Europeans are like the
No,
I'm
I said Polish people
No, but he's
are
also-
considered the hicks of Eastern Europe.
Of Eastern Europe.
Yeah, because we're
That's racist. You can't say that. The last
I'm
podcast,
Polish.
you said you weren't white, so you can't say Hicks.
That's right. Z is on it today.
I'm like opportunity.
Literally, who's talking to you, chopper? He's ready to kill me one day.
He's like.
Anyways, I say so. Because we've always been like the underdog in Eastern Europe. Like we've always, literally, like it's always been the case. And it's like after World War II, I remember there was this stereotype that Polish people are stupid, and it would be jokes all around.
What?
Yeah, it was a thing.
I'm like, I've never met any.
No, but that's the thing. It's like it was really sad because it's like after World War II, right? We were fucking invaded. The majority of our population was Jewish and were exterminated horribly. And then they're making jokes that we're like pieces of shit that don't know anything. And so like a lot of people went into this like shock because they had to leave Europe because of what happened. Anyways, I don't remember where I was going with that. What were we talking about before? Loudness. No, but we were talking about concerts.
Yeah, well, we were
just
finishing up
totally
with
got derailed.
concerts, but we were talking about like the Hamilton concert. Then we had the experiences.
And I was talking about
in
mosh
Toronto.
pits.
Mosh pits.
So when my first experience, I was scared of what would happen to me in the mosh pit. But the one thing I learned about the environment of more hardcore concerts is that you're always looking out for who needs help. And if you don't, you're actually ostracized. Like people get so pissed off if they see someone that won't pick someone up once they've fallen in the pit. It's like one time I fell in a pit and there are these 3 super burly bearded guys that came and just like threw me up in the air out of the floor, and I was like, woo! I know, I'll get to it. I'm in the middle of talking, buddy. It's very distracting when you guys do that. Honestly, I have ADHD, so when I see movement, I just like but it's okay. So Jordan, what did you want to say?
No, tell what you're saying. Finish what you're saying.
No, that was pretty much it. Just tell me.
I was just gonna say shout out to all like the homies in the concerts that actually help out like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I've fallen in a pit as well, not going into the story, but like and it hurts.
Yeah. Because people are crushing you.
Right.
They're about to step on you, and then when someone pulls you up, you're like, oh my god, I'm alive.
Question: when the mosh pit is happening, are the people like performing? Are they still playing music?
Yeah.
Like,
It's usually a
so it's like-
breakdown. So what happens is like most of the Jordan's so excited. So most of the time, what happens is like there's a breakdown, right? It's like. you know, the really hard part where it's like super bass and deep.
I feel like
so what happens is like they're like, everybody get ready, I want to see a fucking circle going, and they're like, yeah, it's like the band is hyping everyone up to start moshing, and sometimes people just mosh because they feel like it, like the band doesn't say anything and they just start doing it and it's fine. But then a lot of the times they'll be like, I want to see a fucking pit open up, because it's usually if they see no one doing anything, then they want people to get hyped up to do it, you know, or if they want to do a wall of death. They did a wall of death during Papa Roach. So what a wall of death is they tell, what are you, do you not know? Okay, so what it is Jordan's laughing. So it's when the crowd separates in two, right?
Oh, and they play Red Rover, we call it Be Over. No, wrong place.
So there's a few things that could happen. It's very fun. So what could happen is a really ballsy person will stand right in between in the separate, and they'll be standing there like, come on, and and then everyone will be facing each other, and they'll just be like, we're ready, man, we're ready, and they look so aggressive. And then when the band gives the cue where they're like, boo, and everyone just runs towards and just slams into each other, and they just start fucking moshing. And it's funny because when the person's in the middle, they're the ones that get destroyed, like they get crushed. That's why I say the most ball. And did I tell you I was in the middle of a wall of death once? And
you're trying to be like the most ballsy person.
And I also tried to crowd surf during a wall of death, and that's when I almost broke my rib. Because they did a wall of death, and they threw me up in the air, and I fucking fell so hard, and I felt my back like almost shatter, and I was like, oh. And then my
back shattered on your behalf. I'm telling the story.
I thought I died. I thought I literally died. Like I was like, my soul left my body. I was on the floor. People were swarming, and then again, shout out to the people who just saw me right away, fucking picked me up off the ground, pulled me up, and I couldn't stand because my ribs hurt, and I was like, oh.
Shout out to those guys.
So I have a couple of comments now.
Yeah,
so my first comment was, as I said, I'll probably do a mosh pit with like 3 layers of bubble wrap. Second is
I want to see that.
Yeah, if I developed anime powers, because I would just do like Kamehameha on everyone, like Dragon Ball Z, whatever. And the third comment is, what's the like initial objective and purpose of a mosh pit? Like, is it just to like everyone just to like freestyle, like go all out loose and just like have that thrill? It's like the purge, but like contained.
So what it is there are rules to the mosh pit. It's not a completely chaotic thing, right? So rules are
chaotic.
No, rules are you can't actively try to hurt people. You can't punch people in the face. You can't kick people.
How can you prove it?
No, you can't. But the thing is like when you're, it's hard. It's almost like its own like living creature. Like when you're in there, right? You can see what's going on like immediately. You're really close to people, right? So if I see some dickhole there who's punching people in the face, do you
call someone a urethra?
Yeah, the fucking urethra is punching people. And the thing is people start to move away from that person, and you can see like this asshole's like going like this and like punching people or like, kicking people.
Are people like drinking too? So doesn't that also amplify and also like make people like disregard their morals?
But that's why I'm saying
like
there's a culture behind it, because the majority of people are there to have fun and to also enjoy the togetherness they feel with other people who enjoy the same music.
And that's valid,
right?
Like to each their own in their own ways. It's just
and I'm not saying that
I'm still kind of like grasping it,
I know. Well, but that's why. Who was the artist? I don't know if you guys remember that one artist where people were literally dying from the crowd crush, and he kept playing. Travis Scott.
Yeah. But that was different. Wasn't that like a shooting?
No.
Oh, okay.
So the thing about this,
fact check.
I think his was actually a dehydration, no?
No, I watched all the coverage on Travis Scott's. I know what happened.
Yeah, it was like someone's going around in the crowd like with a needle and just fentanyl.
No.
Oh, really?
No. I actually. Oh my god.
I'm sure at a Travis Scott concert that was definitely happening.
Probably, but.
No, but that wasn't like what you guys were talking about. Was there was a crowd surge,
crush.
So they moved forward and the whole crowd moved forward. But there's like concerts are supposed to have measures for that.
They're supposed to stop.
There's measures for it that they put in with the security part way to stop stuff like that from happening. And something happened, and whoever the vendor was who set it up didn't put in those measures.
Well,
like they didn't intervene or anything like that.
Measures weren't there. The measures weren't set up. Period.
I know a lot about
and people lost their lives because you get crushed. like asphyxiation, right? You can't breathe, they'll crush your chest.
Here's
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 it
what
only takes
happened.
a few seconds to a minute, like, you know.
Well, no. Here's what happened, right? So yes, there were the measures, but there was also the fact that like there is live footage of people going on stage and telling the crew people are dying, like literally people are dying. Stop the concert.
I remember that one.
And
I did remember that one.
knew,
That was
and
circulating.
they were trying to like get Travis Scott's attention, and people were screaming at Travis Scott, being like, "People need an ambulance," and like no one was listening. Like no one stopped the concert, no one did anything about it, and that was why so many people died. It was like the initial aspect of it is like you can't, like if it starts happening, it's fucked. But once it's brought to your attention, that's when you should stop, right? That's when you should just be like, all right, because the thing I love about the concerts I've been to is the moment they see someone hurt, I've heard singers go, yo, everyone stop, fucking stop right now. Someone fell into the pit, someone get them up, are they okay? Like they stop and they're cool about it.
They're more like down to earth and more conscious of
and a lot of the concerts
like
I've been to, they're very conscious to make sure that no one is hurt. And because the thing is, it's like, ultimately, you're there for a good time. You're there to have fun, and you're not there to fucking die just because you're dancing to some music.
Someone wrote their name in the Death Notebook. Sorry, okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So my question to that is, don't you think drugs do a big part in that as well?
100%, yeah.
A lot of people that unfortunately passed away that day were also intoxicated, right? Some kind of Molly, ecstasy, etc., whatever.
I don't know if that
But
killed them,
just
though.
I'm not saying that it killed them. My thing is like that itself already overheats you, and in an already hot environment, you know, it's not like.
But there were little kids that died, too. There were like 13, 14-year-olds.
Not disagreeing with that. My whole thing was like, drugs. Do you think drugs could have played a big part in that as well? I guess that's ultimately my question.
Yeah.
So I'll just say. Yeah.
Wait,
so,
what the fuck did you say? What the fuck did Alex say? You guys need to repeat it because I'm actually partially deaf and this is a lack of accommodation.
Buzz me and move on.
No, but then when I buzz you, you're like, oh, you buzzed me. So I gotta know what you said.
Buzz, trust me.
You'll see it in
someone
the replay.
have my back.
The answer is yes.
I would just.
You little bitch. Okay, sorry, go on.
I would just say that drugs definitely do play a factor in all settings, not just in the concert aspect.
Yeah.
That's always a risk that the user has to consider and take, along with their friends to kind of keep in mind. To always be mindful of that if their friend or whatever partner or whatever is consuming drugs to be that elevated good time, there's still that risk as well, and to make sure that everything is like, you know, taking precautions like water, air, whatever the needs are.
Yeah.
Secondly, like I'm sure there's probably some demographic that felt to those casualties, but we're not consuming drugs.
It's because like we take substances, whether they're legal or not. Like just because weed is legal, just because alcohol is legal.
That's here in Canada. In America, you know,
but
like,
even
it's still
so,
a bit gray and stuff.
But even so, they can make everything legal. It doesn't
Correct.
mean that, you know, it's gonna be a risk that I'm gonna fucking die from a crowd crush. Because it's like, yeah, it could be a risk that I overdose at the concert and die. But if I didn't,
you can also do that at your own bedroom.
it's like
too.
I could die of alcohol poisoning. But if there's a crowd crush, that's essentially what killed me. And no one is expecting it to go that far, because usually when something like that starts to happen at a concert, they do have the responsibility as the people who are there, the crew, the people who work at the venue. They have the responsibility to stop and make sure that it's safe. And then if they don't, then that's their fault, because like you are the ones that are supposed to know the risk. You're the ones who are supposed to know how to help within this situation, not the fucking kids who are dying. Right?
It's just overall, it's like the spreading awareness, understanding, responsibilities, stuff like that, and having a good support team too. Because there's so many times you go with a group of 4 people. Halfway through the night of whatever is happening, concert, club, whatever, everyone's dispersed, everyone's lost, everyone's this, people lose their phones, batteries die, you know, like
shit happens. Literally,
but it's to prepare for that too, right?
But it's like literally, the thing is like literally shit happens, but I don't think that it's a stretch to say that we should, you know, we should be in the mindset that we want to like do whatever possible to make sure everyone's safe and people don't fucking die. Like if people are going on the stage being like people are dying, and you don't stop the concert, that's a problem in my eyes.
For sure, yeah. Because I would see it in another perspective of, let's say we were the owners of like a venue space, and we want to rent out the space towards celebrities and host a concert. We, as ownership of this place, we want to be responsible and making sure that we take accountability and responsibility and take proper measurements implemented to make sure that no one gets hurt, people are safe.
Yeah.
If XYZ scenarios happen, what are the protocols and form of operation and stuff like that. When that is more laid out, it shows more commendability and allow the venue to be more rented out in the future.
Exactly, but that's the thing, right?
But
it's
some
like
places are not like that. People are like, yeah, go in. Like,
but I don't like that because those scenarios scare me because it's like I go to these concerts all the time. I've had literally near death experiences. We enjoyed it. Just said how we like literally thought we were gonna die when we fall into a pit. And yeah, sure, that's a possible risk that someone will trample me. But I'd like to think and have faith in humanity that people will try to help as much as possible.
My question there is, with all the excitement and all the fun going around, and I would assume the terrain is going to be kind of moshed up too, do you think they're going to notice someone under them?
The thing is it not always, right? And that's fair. Like that's the thing is like when you look at liability,
there's no perfect system.
Yeah, you look at all aspects, right? It's like, the Travis Scott situation is like a they knew and they did nothing type of thing.
Like, it got brought to their attention.
Yeah, like if they stopped the concert but people had already died, like there's because the thing is like
some lives lost, some
I'm
of them
thinking in the
saved.
legal aspect of like contributory negligence. The moment they were made aware of the situation, if they took every possible precaution, they took all action to make sure to correct it, then that would have obviously looked much better for them because they're like, oh my god, but because they didn't, it looks so bad because so many people died that didn't need to die. And in the end, it's like the next time you have a venue like this, they're gonna be like, oh, y'all are dying, it's fine. Fuck
it also just shows too, like, for that artist, it's like you have your fans. Like, these people are coming to your concert because they're a fan of you. It's not like that people got dragged in or forced or they got selected off the streets because it was a sale or a free ticket. It's like these people wanted to be there for, the celebrity's support. And as a celebrity, they should, offer that respect back to the fans and making sure that they care about them and would stop a concert and stuff like that.
Didn't Travis Scott say something really awful after and then he retracted it? Like he was just kind of like, I don't remember if you guys saw it. There was like a video where he was just like, oh man, like I don't know. I can't remember. It's been so long now. This happened like a year ago or something. Yeah, I don't remember when it happened.
I'm just gonna get some more.
You're gonna just leave me?
No.
Oh my god.
I know you have embodiment issues. No?
I do actually. So, it's funny because this actually segues into what we're going to talk about with, like, the whole, like, TTC thing. Because it's like we're talking about safety.
Yeah.
And so we touched upon this with when me and Alex had the last episode. And then me and Z were going to talk about it because, like, as I dove deeper into this topic, I actually went on the TTC recently. I don't know if I told you guys. It was the most dystopian thing I've experienced in my fucking life. Like,
and it's crazy because, like, I lived in Toronto for about 7 years and the Etobicoke side. And, taking the TTC all the time, everywhere, all over the place.
I still do. Like, I still did up until...
But it was never, like, to this scale. Like, I moved out of Toronto maybe about 10 years ago.
You know how Toronto used to be? Was, I was in a hospital and there was, like, a homeless person trying to sleep in the waiting room because there was, like, no one there. And a police officer literally went up to him. He's like, yo, do you want me to call a shelter for you? Do you want me to get you a taxi to a shelter?
That's proper.
And he was just, I see you. I will call on you. I want to finish my point, sorry. So he was like, I'll call a shelter for you. And then the homeless guy was like, oh, they're all full. And the cop was like, don't worry, I'll call them. And he calls them. And I'm literally listening to this, like, waiting in the waiting room. And he calls them, and he gets him a cab, and he gets him to a shelter. And
that's like
proper. Shit like that was happening all the time around me. And it gave me, like, fucking faith in our city. And then now it's fucked up because, like, we were talking about the whole TTC attacks, but then there's also the hugely relevant aspect of, like, the fact that, like, during COVID, a lot of the shelters were, like, shut down. People didn't, like, homeless people didn't have access to safe, like, home environments.
They're all full, you know,
and then it gets fucking cold. You're like, right? It's so fucking cold right now, all right? And minus
15 feels like minus 28.
23 or 28 or something.
Yeah.
So, like, It's so fucking cold, and I can't even sit. I feel like my eyes are burning when I'm outside. Like my eyes were watering, and I can't even imagine like homeless people right now. So. So what was it? So they had I remember they had this issue of like tent cities in Toronto. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Trinity Bellwood?
Yeah. So in Trinity Bellwood Park, there were a bunch of homeless that like set up tents, and they were like, you know what? Fuck the shelters right now. Either they can't get in, or when they are in, they get fucking robbed. Right? Or it's not safe anymore. Like, they don't feel safe in a shelter.
Like, they have their own conflict and drama within the shelter community as well.
And there's a lot of shit going on that we don't know about. And then they're set up their own tents, and they're not bothering anyone. They just literally are trying to make sure that their stuff doesn't get stolen, and they have a warm place to stay. And then, of course, the Toronto police come in being like, get the fuck out. And evicted all of them. And now they're taking shelter.
Ordered to too, right?
Yeah, they were ordered to, and now they're taking shelter on the TTC. And so when I was on the TTC, I felt so fucked because I felt like I was living in like Brooklyn in the 80s. Like I was sitting there, and there were literally people with serious mental health issues pacing back and forth, muttering in front of me. Guy in front of me, clearly homeless, sleeping, gangrene on his feet, lifted up, like passed the fuck out, pissing himself, you know. And then there was this one guy who sat right in front of me and just looked dead in the eyes. And then he just went up, and you know there are these disabled seats that like they're closed, and you have to push them down to open them. He went up, started slamming the seats, and then would stare at me. And then do it again, and then stare at me. And he had a cigarette in his mouth, and I'm just sitting there, and I was like, I feel like this is an intimidation tactic, and I don't know how to react, so I was just staring him square in the face. And then he just got up and started walking backwards and slamming into a bunch of people. And like,
do you think that he must have been on something? Like,
he definitely looked like he was either on drugs or like seriously out of it. Like it could have been like he had a mental health issue.
Yeah, that could be another big factor too.
And I don't think they were dangerous, but the thing is like it could become dangerous because if you have mental health issues,
because you don't know what to expect,
and you're unsafe, and you don't have a place to stay, like that could be why people are becoming aggressive. Because now they're sending police on the TTC to start kicking these homeless out. It's like, where are they gonna go?
That's not entirely true.
I know it's not the point, but that's what they're doing.
That's not why the police are there, though.
I know that's not why they're there, but that's what they're doing.
I get it, but you know, it's not why they're there. Apparently, they're there to help people from getting hurt. But if they're not getting on the actual bus, they're not really doing anything.
But that's what I'm saying.
That's why I said it's like what? Because I'm like,
what is the point of the police being there? The point is they're gonna start just kicking them out, and that's what they're doing. I keep hearing it.
Not just that. It's like the fact that they're gonna have police on stations. Which
but
can work as two things, which is like, you know, protecting the people, like incidents happening at the station, and also unfortunately kicking out the homeless. But it's like a lot of the incidents are also transparent and happening on streetcars, buses,
on the street, downtown, like literally in front of stations.
So unless police are on every streetcar or every
and the police are the ones that like contributed to the issue.
It's a very temporary situation.
It's like adding more police doesn't help.
Pull it. You're gonna spin
okay, sorry. And because the thing is, it's like the major issue is that they've cut our mental health services. They've cut, you know, their access to shelters.
Yeah, they're gonna increase.
And now they're like pissed that people are sprawled out across the city with nowhere to go, and trying to kick them out some more. It's like a cat and mouse game. It's like you're not helping. Like the point is that you're not funding what you should be fucking funding, and that's why our city is going to shit.
Which it's okay. What I also noticed too is like we're getting so many condos being built, like
fucking
left,
Condo
right, and
Valley.
center, but all of a sudden build more shelters for the homeless.
Like nah.
You know,
no, Ford doesn't want to do that.
Not even just Ford, just in general. I feel like I've been to Vancouver, and Vancouver has huge a huge homeless demographic, even more than Toronto, to be honest, because Vancouver is also warmer than Toronto. So they're able to.
Is it really actually?
Yeah.
Yo,
the most homeless I've ever seen was Los Angeles, because they had homeless people like lined up like on both sides, and tents from Santa Monica all the way to Venice Beach, and I've never seen more homeless than that.
In Vancouver?
No, and this is Los Angeles.
Oh, Los Angeles. Okay, sorry.
Those aren't homeless people. Those are called crackheads.
I mean, they're probably homeless.
No, yeah. Well,
sorry.
But I just see. I refer to them as homeless because their home is literally the tent that they're on. And the thing is, in a place like LA, it's warm all year round, so it's livable. It's manageable.
Yeah,
and places
the cold here is what fucks it up.
That's the thing, right?
Yeah.
And it's because we have this extreme weather. Should also be more of a reason why a shelter is more imperative for these homeless people.
But that's why they used to be so like especially
like they just need to just have a proper system and
the
stuff.
thing I loved about being in Canada growing up, like obviously we're not perfect, there's a lot of flaws in our system.
Absolutely.
However, the one thing I loved was like actually feeling like the government did give a shit about these things because they kind of had to, because it's like
you feel as a Canadian you have that pride to always kind of do your due diligence and think about the less fortunate.
But it's also the
like
fact, like you said, it gets so fucking cold here. So what are you gonna do? Let people freeze to death outside?
Yeah.
They don't. And there was a point where they literally were letting people sleep in malls and shit. Like when I was homeless in high school for like 6 months.
Really?
Yeah. And I was sleeping in malls and shit. I was literally sleeping at bus stops. Yeah. I was like, yeah, it was like shortly before I met you, actually.
Oh,
and when I met you,
that's the thing. I'm like, I do not remember this in our.
When I met you was when I was starting to like live back at home, but like just before I met you, I was like fucked.
Did I meet you when you started, or sorry, I didn't mean to mention the school.
Cancel yourself.
Yeah,
no,
sorry. When you were in your new high school,
but so you met me when I was in my new high school. Yeah.
Because I was.
What happened was.
So I didn't meet you at the.
So what happened was actually that I
school.
was homeless for like 6 months, and one of the reasons I switched schools was because of that whole situation, because of what was going on at home and everything.
Makes sense.
So I switched to that school, which is how I met you. Well, actually, no, I didn't meet you because of that. I met you because of the parties.
No.
From that person.
Well, yes.
Yes.
Who shall not be named.
Shall not be named. And, this man saved my life, by the way. He's the reason I'm still alive.
We spew a lot of...
I tell Jordan, like, Jordan knows everything. He knows too much, actually. A little too much. Yeah. Anyways... I mean, I was friends with Jordan, like, before I even met you. I was friends with
Really?
you. Yeah, you guys are, like, my longest friends. Yo.
Hey.
You knew me when I was fucked up.
Oh, my gosh. We can be the...
We were both fucked up. We were living at Man's house.
The soup.
Fucking Soup Man. We were living at Soup Man's house.
I just thought of our new acronym. BJZ. Nah,
BJ.
I'm kidding.
Yo, you know what I thought about that? Yo, I thought...
BJ in the house. No.
Listen, you guys, listen.
Yes.
You know what I was thinking about? You know,
Just so we're clear. You're the J.
Ow!
The whiplash.
Listen, guys. So you know what I was thinking about with Jacques? I was like, if we get married, when they put the initials, I was like, I want mine to be first, but I don't want it to be BJ. I just thought about it, and I was like, it's not gonna work. But you know, it'd be kind of funny a little bit, right?
And then win by default again. High five.
No.
Yeah, you got you.
No.
All right.
Just you guys are not high five. That was so pathetic. I saw that. You know what? You know what they were like. I have to reenact it for the audience.
Aww.
Anyways,
I think you're not an actress, or you'd be kicked off the scene.
who the fuck do you think you are? I went
That
to
was
school
Z
for
Formation
acting.
snap, by the way.
I went to school for acting.
El Dorado.
Did you know I actually went to school for acting?
Good news.
Excuse me, what?
Did you know? I don't care.
That never happened.
Can we
Then
fact check
stop
that?
talking. You're Chomper now.
That college that they used to talk about on BET doesn't exist.
What?
It was fake. Get your money back.
I'm not a fucking lawyer. You need to stop this.
Apparently.
He's the reason I'll lose my job.
It's because the paper is fake.
No one asked you, Alex. No one asked you.
Bye.
You're not here. This is B to Z. This isn't A, B to Z.
Stop responding to Z. I mean to.
You guys have the mic. I have no choice.
I have the same Photoshop certificate.
Okay, so what were we talking?
finishing.
Oh yeah, so TTC. Yeah, so honestly, the thing that just makes me sad, because the thing is just like honest. like the biggest reason I like living here is like feeling like, you know, when you're in a bad fucking place, it's not going to be like what you hear in America. I know it's not apparently that bad, but like what you hear is like, you know, fuck you, you're on your own. It's like if you're like
you feel less support.
Because like for example,
and we are also a smaller population too, right?
And the thing is too is like, okay, if you have a good family, right? And like you have a healthy family relationship, you feel very supported. If shit goes down, if things go wrong for you, you always have your family, right?
Yeah, to fall back.
But if you don't have a good family, it's
what do you do?
Like me. So the thing is like the reason I like being here was because there's so many social supports for people like me.
So many programs.
On paper, I should have had money, but in reality, I was denied everything while my parents couldn't pay for fucking shit because they had problems. So, you know, like, the thing that I liked was, like, how I felt like I had the support even though I was falling apart. And the thing is like, I'm a successful human being now. Like, I went to college, I graduated, I have a job, I have an apartment, I'm self-sufficient. I'm literally the example of the human being that was on the fucking streets, was, like, about to drop out of high school.
Start from the bottom, now you're here.
and then because I had access to these supports, I managed to get myself out of there because my parents weren't gonna fucking do it. My family wasn't gonna fucking do it.
Here's a key thing too.
Yeah.
You reached out, which means that you acknowledged you needed help and you reached out. There's a lot of
people. I
had
two choices.
I know, but there's a lot of people that have either a big pride or they're too afraid to reach out to the help.
Or
and they
trauma.
Don't feel, or trauma.
They can't trust
or,
people,
you know, or
right?
other XYZ, or they don't feel like that the government or these support programs are really there for their best interest.
Immigrants?
They're there, you know what I mean?
They can't trust the government here because their government back home might have been corrupt.
So they associate the same government.
Same
language barriers.
They're
not exposed to the resources. The thing is, the resources are only as effective as if you are aware about them and utilize them. And not a lot of people utilize them or are aware they exist to begin with.
But see, what I like...
But see, you were aware.
But what I liked about here was like you meet so many different people of so many different backgrounds.
Toronto's so diverse.
Literally, the only reason I was able to reach out was because I met other people who told me it was okay to reach out.
Because
my mom.
I know, but you're that type of person. But there are some people that are so introverts that like they can't.
But
like,
but I'll give you an example.
I'm not trying to justify or defend them. But I'm just saying like that those people
like I agree with you. Yeah. I agree with you, and there are people like that for sure. But the thing is like the one thing okay, so I go to school with people, right?
Yeah,
you go to school with people here and you have diverse backgrounds, or at least in my area there's diverse backgrounds. I know there's pockets in Toronto that's not fucking like that. I've learned over time, but for the most part, the GTA is pretty diverse. It's very diverse. So it's like, whether you're introverted or not, you're sitting next to someone who's a completely different background, has completely different views. You hear things, right? And that's why I like living here, because it's like I learned so much from so many different people. I went from listening.
You get enlightened. You know, elevated.
I went from literally listening to my mom's word as if it was law to like being like, she might be wrong. After many years.
And that's another big factor too. Is like it's keeping that open mind, because a lot of times people are aware of the different background and vast diversity, but they're still very like in their own ways, or they want to stay true to their values or what they learn. Like they're very like,
there's
I don't want to say
like
closed-minded, but they just want to be very like prideful to what they know.
I think I found that like here it's not as common. Like it does happen.
Correct. Like,
it's not as common.
The GTA I've noticed is
really
so
fucking hard to be.
open-minded.
It's so hard to be like that, because it's like, how can you literally like survive here like that?
Correct.
Like there's literally no way.
And that's what makes it very blessed. Like that's why my parents won't ever leave the GTA, because they know how much it has to offer. Right? In general, where
but
it's like
this is why I'm
you never
sad
want to
about.
feel
That's why I'm sad about what's happening now.
Like the homeless.
Okay, apparently I can't get political here, but anyways, so I was like getting political, and Chomper was like, so Chomper, what do you have to say?
This is how I know you're talking shit, because there's no character here named Chomper.
You're a Chomper. I say that with absolute love in my heart.
People think you're a lawyer, but you're not.
I'm not a No one thinks I'm a lawyer. They are aware that I'm not.
You're definitely a lawyer.
You're not a lawyer?
He doesn't listen to me. You see? This is. This
Wait, what the fuck? Wait a minute.
He's like, excuse me, you just gaslighted me?
She walked in, she's like, yo, slap me a 20. I represent you now.
This is not at all what happened.
$20.
No one's asking you questions.
Wait, you're
right
a lawyer?
now.
I didn't know how to get away with murder.
No,
Okay.
no. Oh my god, okay, what? What's up, Jay or?
I thought you went to school for entertainment law.
Oh my god.
In a media company.
You realize that when you go to school for law, it's not a specialty. You learn all of it. If you go to law school, you learn all of it. There's no entertainment law. Like, no.
Paralegal.
What's the difference? You learn everything.
The wording.
I'm talking about law school. I'm not talking about my experience. Not part of this.
Yeah.
Get out.
So,
Wait.
Court on Monday.
Why are you in court on Monday? Is this the hypothetical situation in your fucking mind where you did time for 40 years? Because we're not. Are you not letting that go? Because I swear to God, this is. I'm over it. Okay. Anyways, what?
It was hypothetically a true story.
hypothetically a true story.
So
I love that.
Just
I can't wait to watch the next new horror movie. And it's like hypothetical, based on a true story.
but not really.
Based on a hypothetical true story.
But I'm lying. What?
Hold on. It's hypothetical. True story.
Yeah.
This is hypothetical, but true story.
Facts. What?
Chicken wings.
Ooh, I would love some chicken wings.
Teriyaki chicken.
You know,
Yo, you want to order some now?
at this
Are
point,
you buying?
I'm just
Sure.
used to my disabilities being abused for your entertainment. This is what happens to the hard of hearing. People just bully you. You guys are ableist.
So, I think this kind of like... Where did
Yeah,
that come-
because I'm hard of hearing and, they won't repeat what they said. So
Where's your
this is just
hearing
bullying.
aid? No, I'm kidding.
Yo, get out of here. You're supposed to be on my side.
I'm
Z.
just questioning. I'm curious for my
I'm
own
not
self.
that bad that I need a hearing aid, but
Should I do sign language?
I hate you.
I'm just saying.
I can
like,
hear in this ear, okay? But I can't hear in this ear that well.
Oh, that's so.
And I have sensory processing issues. I have a lot of disabilities. I'm
You're like,
a broken human being.
Add that to the list.
You know what's really funny? Actually,
Is that why you're so? No.
I really want to tell you this story. It's actually really funny. No, I will hear it. I'll hear it, but it's really funny. So, not really funny. It was very sad. So, I was.
But if
I
you
was
can laugh about it,
So,
that's
I
what
was
you
about
get.
to cross. No one's asking you, Chomper. Anyways.
You know, if I need to talk to a lawyer, I'd ask. Thankfully, I don't.
Listen, I love you, Chopper, but I really want to finish my story.
Okay, let's go.
We could take a break if you
No,
want.
that's okay. Because I think we're kind of like.
No, but we didn't get to the
I
food.
know.
No, we're gonna get to the food.
Food? What food?
You know. It's okay.
Oh, the chicken wings that we're gonna order.
No,
Gotcha.
No. So I'll tell this story and then we'll take a break. You can go and then we'll jump into the next topic.
Sure.
So true story.
Let's hear it.
Hypothetically, no, I'm
No,
kidding.
okay.
Actually, a true story. So I
Imagine.
was crossing the street, and my friend ran across the street, and I was looking both ways, and I see there's a biker, like a regular biker, not like a motorcycle, but bike. Just a
bicycle.
cyclist.
Yeah.
He's coming, and he looked pretty far for me. So I was about to cross, and the thing is he was yelling so loud at me, but I'm deaf, partially. So this is what happened. So I didn't register what he was saying, and so I start walking, and then he screams, "Hey, hey, hey!" And then all of a sudden I hear, "Hey, hey, hey!" And I turn and I see him in my face. I'm like, "Oh Jesus!" And I went back, and he was like, "Are you fucking deaf?" And I'm like, "I am." You asshole! I literally am deaf.
You're like, I'm triggered.
And when people do
Too
that,
close to home.
people yell that at me all the time. And I feel for my mom too, because my mom is visually impaired. She has a glass eye because a fucking kid threw a bomb in front of her, and she got shrapnel. It was Poland post World War II. Some menace of a child was throwing bombs he found everywhere at people, and he went to my
Your
mom.
was one of the victims.
And he was and he was like, "Yo, look at this!" And he threw a fucking bomb. And my mom was like fucking 7 years old, and she's like staring at what was happening in front of her, and it just exploded. Yeah, because it went in her eye. It was a whole lawsuit. It was crazy. It was a lot of shit.
I'd imagine.
She couldn't even talk about it until I was in my like 20s. Like she literally she could not talk about it. Like it was so traumatic for her. So anyways, where did I go from that? Yeah, so I feel for my mom because sometimes like she'll bump into people and they'll scream at her asking if she's blind, and she's like. She's like, in her mind, she's like, I literally am partially, but she's like, I did not see you, and I slammed into you, and they're like, are you fucking blind, bitch? And it's like, yes. And you know, some people, and that's actually a comment, like, people, like, don't realize that there are people with disabilities walking around. Like, and you scream, are you deaf, are you blind? And you don't actually think, like, actually they are. You know what's
also interesting, too? A lot of people associate disabilities with being physical disability, right?
Yeah, like that you can see it visibly.
Not even just that, but like that, but also just in the sense it's like, you need to have, like, a disability with, like, walking or wheelchair or...
That's what I'm saying. It's like, you see someone in a wheelchair...
Like, there's a lot of disabilities from blindness, deafness, you know? Like, there's so many other...
When I worked in retail, I remember, like, there would be customers that I would go up to from behind. I'd be like, excuse me, sir, how are you doing? And they wouldn't... No, but they wouldn't react. Oh. And in my mind, you know, in high school, I was like, what an asshole. Because sometimes there were customers that purposefully ignored you, right? And then later, I would see them go to their friend, and they would do sign language. I'm like, I'm a piece of shit. I'm a fucking piece of shit. But, what? What did you say?
Grade A, Kobe piece of shit. Look at yourself. Oh, yuck.
Are you saying you're any better?
Ooh.
My guy.
Excuse me, why did you buzz him? I bet you he did worse.
I just saw an opportunity. So
Alex has told me how he's a menace. You're a menace on the bus. Menace.
I'm okay.
Mr.
Okay, we've
Menace.
all seen the movie. Don't be
Menace.
menace.
Dennis the Menace.
No, don't be menace.
Oh, what is that? Back, bitch.
Back.
Back. So how did we end off the last conversation? So it was pretty much just about how we were like kind of sad about how things were going here. We were talking about how it's becoming like Brooklyn in the 80s.
Yeah, that's correct.
And we're just, honestly, I'm just hoping that like, you know, things will get better. Mm-hmm. That's all we can literally do because I voted, not for this person, but I voted and didn't work out for me.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to do. If there's a protest, I'll come, but you know. Yeah. That's literally all I can say. I just don't like how things are going, and I really hope that, like you said, like you were, like Z was saying, how it's like it's almost like Toronto was like trying to be a New York, but it's like I don't know if you really want to go that route.
Thank you, right? Because like if New York has already shown that it's like. Not,
I mean, it's better now, but like I don't want to go through the same progression they had for like 30, 40 years. Like I don't.
Not to mention, Toronto takes pride in itself for being very like progressive.
Yeah, and very
modern,
like
multicultural, diverse, and it can be successful in its own ways without following the footsteps or shadows of New York City. Nonetheless, we can only comment on it on a podcast. We can't really dictate on a political level.
I can't do shit. They say that people talk, and I try, but no one listens.
However, another very interesting topic is like if I want to order pizza and I want to add
why is this so fucking controversial and political? Like
you know, pineapple on pizza.
Okay, so I have a lot. So this is not even just pineapple on pizza. Okay, I'm listening to every word you say, chopper.
Okay, listen to your heart right now and your soul and
listen
speak.
to your heart. Listen to your heart. Jordan. I don't know why. Listen to your heart.
If this song is not playing in the background while you guys are doing this correctly, I'm gonna be pissed.
I know. I don't even know the song. Okay,
I always sing songs wrong. Okay.
I'm watching. I'm like, yo, what are they on?
So the controversy.
Listen to it.
All right. So you're gonna talk about the controversy, and I'm gonna say my comments afterwards. So I'll let you have the spotlight.
Wait. Get out of here.
All right. So pineapple on pizza. What's your thoughts on it?
Delicious.
Okay, no, actually I agree. I don't buzz you.
Yeah, if you tell me
So-
otherwise, we are no longer friends.
Here's the thing.
I'll have to wait.
Here's the thing. 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 What?
He doesn't
Here's-
want to say it now.
Here's the thing.
No, I'm
Here's
kidding,
the
I'm kidding.
thing.
You
All
like
right.
pineapple on pizza?
You'll find out. Okay.
No, here's the thing. So
Just be patient.
there. So, me personally, I don't understand the fact that people get so fired up about this shit. Personally, like I get it if it's like you're poking fun, you're joking, like whatever. Jokes, all good. Goofs and gags, love it. You're like, you like pineapple on pizza, huh?
Yeah.
So it's like whatever. But and this also, I was gonna also bring up the whole cereal debate of like milk first or cereal first. So I have a lot to say on this because obviously I have sensory issues. So the texture of certain foods makes me want to fucking die and vomit. So no one's talking to you.
No,
Alex,
you continue talking.
No one's talking to you.
Tune the
This is
background.
B to Z. This is not A to Z. What do you want to say?
Two things. Okay. If you scrape the sweet part off the top of a Pop-Tart and or put the milk in the bowl first, you're a serial killer.
Was that a pun? Sorry, I had to ask.
You do it, you're a serial
So
killer.
no one's listening to Alex right now. So what I was gonna say. So what I was gonna say is I put the milk in first. No, Alex.
She has her reasons.
I'm gonna say genuinely.
Hey.
I don't want your comments right now because.
You continue.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
be yourself.
Me be me.
Yeah.
No, you do.
So as B was saying,
yeah.
she likes to put
So-
milk before her cereal because
No,
she
it's-
has a texture sensory.
So obviously,
Thank you.
I mentioned on the last episode I'm autistic. I have sensory issues. I also have ADHD. Either way, whether you're autistic, ADHD, both, you have sensory issues. Soggy cereal is the most disgusting thing I've ever experienced in my life. So I sit there, fuck you, and I add the milk and I put the cereal on because it's fucking crunchy and it's fucking delicious.
It makes sense for you.
And I'm sorry.
Hey.
Is this going into anyone else's body? No, it's going into my body. Why the fuck do you care about the fuck I decide to do with my fucking food? Are you gonna make fun of an autistic person who has to separate their food? Then you're being fucking ableist. And I'm just saying, no, genuinely, this is a genuine conversation I've had online because it's like, you can make fun and make jokes, but when people genuinely get mad and literally don't want to talk to me because of the way I eat my food,
That's ridiculous.
it's literally ableist. It's like
yeah, like
because the thing is like this is the one aspect that actually is made fun of a lot when you have autism, where it's
Yeah,
like
true.
I know people with autism is like literally have to separate their food if their ketchup touches this part, but like I have the same thing sometimes with
correct.
certain foods where it's like if certain foods have a certain texture, I actually vomit. Like one time,
Yeah,
my
I feel
mom
that.
my mom gave me cereal where she heated the milk and she threw the cereal in because that was the thing when you were a kid. Eastern Europeans, they heat the milk. They
Okay.
boil the milk
Okay,
for
okay, yeah.
cereal. That's an Eastern European thing. I'm
that's
not even
new to
joking.
me. I know they
It
boil
is.
milk for when you're like an infant.
No.
So you can pass out
No,
and
no,
get
no.
milk drunk.
No.
But
So-
for cereal, that's a new thing.
So, I don't know if it's Eastern European, but I know with Polish people, like same thing with like my nieces, they would always get like heated milk for their cereal. I always had warm milk for my cereal as a kid.
That's very
It's a
interesting.
Polish thing. I don't know. Or maybe it's not, but like
Apparently.
every Polish person I know has grown up this way.
I have a lot of Polish other friends too. I'm gonna ask them. I'm gonna like,
Ask them, ask
fact
them.
check this.
Dude, because in all honesty, every Polish person I've known, they've grown up with warm milk as their... Because the thing is like... Also, I grew up in a family that they lived on a farm.
I
and they
was
had
gonna
fresh
say!
milk that was warm.
I was
Ah!
gonna say, is it
So
is that the
they grew up on a farm,
the
and I
history
feel
of
like
the-
it's
okay.
always been warm milk, so it's like fresh, like I don't know. Anyways, so you know, and my mom gave me soggy cereal, and I'm not kidding. I took a bite and I went and I vomited.
Yeah.
So it's like
Aw.
that's how bad my sensory issue are because the texture of soggy cereal makes me want to die. So
Yeah,
that's
makes
why
sense.
I'm the weirdo that adds the milk and then does the cereal
But it's-
little by little eating it and it's crunchy and
Okay.
it's not soggy and I don't feel like I'm gonna die.
Yeah, but does that make you a weirdo? It just makes
What?
you.
I can relate.
I hate my
Yeah.
cereal soggy like that.
It's disgusting.
Rather, why am I gonna eat cereal like that? The whole if
I already want to puke just thinking about it. It's so bad.
Yeah. so
Because
that
when
makes
you add the
sense, like, for
cereal
sure.
first and you add the milk, the middle of it is like I can't touch the middle. I gotta eat around it.
Yeah. So now going to the pineapple on pizza.
Yeah.
What are your comments and thoughts
So
on
with
that?
pineapple on pizza, it's not even a texture thing for me. It's just I literally don't understand. I actually genuinely don't understand why people hate it so much, because when I first tried it, it was good. It was bad. I get if people don't like it. Like, I don't like pepperoni pizza. I don't hate it, but it's not my favorite, and like I would prefer not to eat it. You know,
Valid.
and if you say that about pineapple on pizza, fair enough. Like, everyone has their preference. And the thing is like, I did a DNA test. There's actually DNA markers showing like people who like broccoli and don't like broccoli, because there's
Really?
Yeah. So it's the weirdest thing. I think it's a survival thing for certain cultures.
So I'm weird in my own ways where
I
let's
love
say
broccoli.
Broccoli and carrots, I love.
I love carrots,
raw.
broccoli, Brussels
Raw.
sprouts. Oh, raw?
If
No,
I
I don't like it raw.
steam or cook the
I love
broccoli and
steamed.
carrots, I'm not a fan. And for me, that's the
But
texture.
there's a lot of people
because
like
to
that.
me, it's like I know that broccoli and carrots
It's
specifically
crunchy.
are crunchy, and it's nice when it's cold and you can dip it or something like that. Even without dip,
And
it's
why
so
the
good.
fuck would that make me
And like-
mad?
and like-
Why would that make me mad?
Not to mention,
Yeah.
it's actually healthier because there's more nutrients in
Yeah,
those
because when
vegetables.
you steam, it takes it out, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
And it makes it softer. So to me, like, that's weird. Like, I'm like, eh. But like, that's how I am.
Yeah.
Now, for pineapple on pizza, I actually just tried it recently by not accident, but just like, it was available.
there, yeah.
Exactly, it was available. And I'm hungry. I'm not gonna say no to pizza. And I like pineapples on its side by itself. And on the pizza, it was no different than like a regular pizza.
It's
it just,
honestly
like,
so
it has a-
mild.
Yeah,
Like,
like
you
the taste was
barely
not
taste
prominent.
it,
It's not.
yeah.
It's not the pineapple taste or flavoring overpowers the essence of pizza. Not to
Yeah.
mention pizza. Everywhere you go has at least 30 toppings.
Yeah.
Why cross the border or the line on pineapple? Like, it doesn't make sense.
But that's
It's
the
just-
thing.
it's
Like,
just
I
one
was
topping.
I was
Like,
just talking
you know
to
what I mean?
Z
Like,
about like
so many times people have 8 toppings on a pizza, and it's
But-
like, bro, now you want to make a issue up for pineapple?
But that's the thing
Doesn't make
too,
sense.
is like with when I was here,
doesn't
actually,
kill you.
I was trying to order pizza.
It's
I don't
actually
know-
healthier.
You guys probably remember. I was like, "There's shawarma pizza. There's butter chicken pizza." I was
Yeah,
like losing
yeah,
it.
there you
I
go.
was losing my
There's
mind.
Greek
I was-
Mediterranean
and
pizza,
apparently, it's
like,
in
you
India.
know?
That's so common. Like, if you go to India and you order pizza everywhere, shawarma, butter chicken, they have so many different toppings. You can go anywhere else in the world and they have their own toppings. And
Yeah.
it's like pizza. I love
People
pizza.
have pizza without
Listen,
sauce. People have
listen,
pizza without cheese.
listen,
like
fucking
like you know what I
pizza-
mean? Like you like
Pizza's
pizza
so
is,
versatile.
Thank you.
There's so much you can put on a fucking pizza.
That's
You
what-
can fucking put everything on a pizza. And
and it'll still taste.
why are you
good.
mad about it? Why are you mad about it? Like,
I think there's an issue. Like, some people just like feel the need to want to have a problem with like one certain thing, and they just make it into a biggest deal, which doesn't
it's their
make any sense.
personality. They're
But
like,
hashtag narcissism.
but my ex, my
Stop,
narcissistic ex,
we're not gonna go there. We're not gonna go there.
he
And-
hated when I put ketchup on something.
Okay, you know what I mean? Ow, funny bone.
I love
It's okay,
you.
it's okay. But
Yes.
but in regards to the cereal, like, I don't really care either way. Like, I'm not saying that I desire soggy cereal, but I'll put cereal and then pour the milk, and I'll pour the milk accordingly.
Yeah.
And then I'll just eat the cereal, and if some parts are soggy, like, that's fine. I'll just eat faster. But
That's the thing. It's
but
just
like to me,
preference.
that's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't really matter. It's just like at the end of the day, it's like it's just whatever. Like, there's other things I do not like. I will not touch, such as like tomatoes and stuff like that. Like, I'm not
But
a
that's
big
the
fan
thing
of
too.
them.
Is like
But
you
it's
were.
like there's some forms or ways that you could
Well,
eat them.
like-
I mentioned earlier about the broccoli and carrots.
Yeah,
and stuff
yeah,
like
yeah.
that whole texture and stuff.
But you know, but
But, like-
the thing that like the reason I brought up the DNA thing is because it's like it's actually very relevant because it's like if people have figured out that your DNA can affect how food tastes,
Mm-hmm.
literally, because it's like in a way it kind of makes sense because let's say you have an ancestor that fucking continuously
always
died
be-
from a food.
I know, but there'll always be
Right?
some exceptions too, because the thing
Yeah.
is, the DNA may not always stem from one side of the family.
Well,
It'll always side.
DNA
it
is
can,
not DNA testing is not like foolproof. It's not like 100%,
Mm-hmm,
right? Like they don't know everything. We don't know everything.
It's just speculation.
But in the end, it's like, a lot of the patterns they've noticed is certain people with these DNA markers enjoy broccoli and Brussels sprouts, and then there's people with DNA markers that don't. Like, for example, Jacques fucking hates Brussels sprouts and broccoli, loves peppers. I'm the reverse. I hate peppers. I like spicy stuff, but I don't like peppers on their own, and I like broccoli and Brussels sprouts.
See, I like...
So we're like the reverse.
So I like cucumbers, not pickles.
I hate cucumbers.
And I like banana peppers, not green peppers. Like, I don't mind the green peppers, but it's not my preference. So my friends were like, why do you like the pickled version of this, but you don't like the pickled version of that? And I'm like, talk to my DNA.
Like, I don't
like,
fucking know.
Actually, yes. Jordan.
Move the mic closer, by the way. Your voice is really soft, so... No, I'm telling you that every time Jordan talked into the mic when I was editing, I could barely hear him. I'm just saying, Jordan has a very soft voice. I know shit now. I edit shit now. I know.
I mean, was the headphones on the left or the right ear?
I wasn't wearing headphones.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You're so ableist, Jordan. I'm joking. Yeah. Go. Yes, go on.
Oh, fuck, what was my question? Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. So if we can map out the piece of the DNA that can determine if someone likes broccoli or not, could we essentially map out the pieces of the DNA to make the most effective diet depending on the type of person we're trying to be?
They actually try to do that.
I think
they
eventually
do.
one day they will be able to get to that point, and technology and DNA and science and everything.
They
I think
try.
at this time it's not,
infancy.
Yeah,
it's infancy.
It's still in the early stages and stuff. I think one day they will be able to, because I know science will be able to determine, like, when a woman is pregnant or whatever the case is, they will determine if that baby's gonna get cancer, how they're gonna die, what hereditary,
well, not how they were gonna die, but what they're predisposed to potentially
what they're prone to, stuff like that.
By the way, I found I have really good genes, like health wise.
Really?
So when I took
I'm like, don't you have?
No, when I took a DNA test, you know what it literally said? It was like, I'm fucking clear of everything except celiac and fucking what was the other one? Diabetes. It was like diabetes, celiac. So it's like basically food is your worst enemy right now. But like,
so to answer your question though, like food's a bit more like on the trickier gray side of things, because like I said a little bit mentioned earlier, like the DNA could stem from the mom's side, dad's side, and it can also skip a generation, can come from the grandparents of either side. So
are you listening?
It's very like it's a little bit, like I said, in the early stages of it determining, but it's not necessarily impossible. But at this current time and technology and science, I don't think it's worth there yet. Yeah. But like, for the most part, at the same time, also I'm a kind of believer where it's like, you could have, unless you're allergic, if let's say you don't just like, let's say broccoli, like you just grew up, you don't like it, you can train your mind to like it, if you're not allergic. Right? Well, that's what I kind of believe in.
It's true, though, because when you watch, like, not even just watch, when you hear survival stories, right? Like, your brain adapts to the environment. So, like, if you have nothing else to eat, and your only source of food would be broccoli, then you'll fucking eat it, and your brain will be like, this is fucking amazing. How many times do
you see, like, a broccoli forest field,
I know,
but what I mean is,
but
like,
I'm just giving an example.
I know. But how I kind of see it is kind of like certain things are...
Actually, how does broccoli...
Right? Certain things are an acquired taste. What's an acquired taste? The wine that I just drank, coffee, and beer. Those are the three things. But you have the choice
you have the ability to choose. Like, if you were out in the...
But what I mean is, like, there'll be times where someone may not like that, food or beverage at the beginning, but they can practice it, and then they acquire that taste. So me, personally, I do not like wine.
I hated green tea.
There you go.
And now I love it.
To each their own. Because
my Japanese teacher forced me to drink it every lesson.
I still do not like beer. Beer tastes like cat piss. Not that I had tried cat piss, but if I did, I would feel like it would taste like beer.
It's like the smell became the taste. The smell of cat piss became the taste.
All the above. What I know, the only beers I do like... I know. I'm just saying, like, there's no, like...
Trying to help you out here a little bit.
But the only beers I do like is Modelo, just because... It probably doesn't taste as much like beer like the other ones, like as concentrated. Yes. And Mike's Hard beer as well.
It's empty.
I know. But let's say, coffee. I'm not a coffee drinker. I'll drink caffeine in other forms. Iced cap, iced coffee, sure. But drinking bitter coffee, that's not for me. Perhaps if I practice, I would acquire that taste and I would start to learn to like coffee through like double, then slowly
the survival
shorten
thing.
it. Yeah, correct kind of thing, right? Because your body kind of adapts to it. As humans, we're very, very adaptable beings. We're one of the most adaptable creatures on the planet, which has allowed us to survive for so long because of our adaptability. But yeah, for something like broccoli in the DNA, like something like that, it's kind of trickier to kind of really like, have a one source answer to kind of represent it.
Have you watched Fall, the movie? Fall?
Is it also called Autumn? Because no, I have not.
No. The reason it's called Fall is because like they're trapped on a tower, like this like super like tall, I don't know, 2,000 feet tower. And
sounds like me when I'm high. I mean, what?
And she eats a vulture.
A what?
She's trapped up there for like 3 or 4 days. And she's so hungry.
You gotta do what you gotta do, as long as she
and
wasn't vegetarian.
And she eats the vulture.
Well, there are humans
no,
that...
but that's what I'm saying.
No,
it's
no,
like,
here's another big
Can
topic.
I say my point first?
Maybe.
Okay.
So, there's
He's
another
like, maybe.
scenario
I
where humans were on a plane and they crashed into the mountains.
They eat each other? Is this
exactly.
Eat each other? Yeah. I know about this.
They performed cannibalism because they had to
were
survive.
Desperate.
Well, yeah, and they needed to survive, right?
And okay, so this is the thing. Is like because we're adaptable, right? In the Fall movie, I remember asking this to Jacques. I was like, Jacques, I don't know if I could do that. I was like, I really don't, cause like I genuinely don't know.
But you're
then
thinking
he
about
was
in this
like,
scenario.
no, I know, but I was like, I'm trying to picture like how could you do that? And then he was like, when I went camping. He's like, when I went camping. No. I'm not. Let me finish. Alex, let me finish. Are you gonna let me finish?
Go for it. Go ahead. You're
What?
I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Yo, if I get trapped on an island, and I'm talking about not even for that long, cannibalism. Two days in, and we're sacrificing the little one.
Like, are you saying that you would?
Yeah, what do you mean? Not even that long. Oh my god.
Alex!
So what's interesting?
What if you and I were trapped? Alex, what if you and I were trapped on an island?
He's gonna pick between your left and your right arm.
Away.
Literally.
The first to go.
Ah! All right, next time if we're ever stranded,
he gets the hot sauce. No, I'm kidding.
I'm literally gonna just like leave.
So you know what's really interesting? I in my class when I saw this movie.
Can I say my point first before you tell me the movie?
It's sure.
Okay, no, you tell the movie.
No, only because it's really short.
Was
when I saw the movie about the whole cannibalism thing because it was based on a true story. Mm-hmm. I was like, I'm never gonna do that. I'd rather just die from starvation or freeze to death. You're
like, I would never.
And I'm like, I'm picky as fuck. So my teacher was like, yeah, I thought the same when I was your age, but now that I'm a father of a child, I would do anything to survive and see that child again. And I was like, okay, true. Now you can continue your point.
I say that I have no children. If someone,
Misha.
If someone told me to eat Misha, I would literally eat myself.
Okay, I mean,
like I would sacrifice myself for my dog. You know what's funny? I make all these jokes as if like if I had a kid, I would sacrifice them. Listen, my nieces, I would kill myself before I would touch them to eat them to survive. Okay, like. I mean, no way. I would literally tell my nieces, I'd be like,
I hate them.
What?
I hate them. Without me, what are they going to be able to do? They're dead anyway. So
No.
I'm dead. Pun intended.
Chopper. Listen. You know what I would do? I would give my nieces a speech, and if they don't absorb it,
thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
You fucking Gemini. Oh, I didn't do the birth charts. I gotta do that.
I'm
okay,
dead.
it's okay. So listen. So yeah, we're wrapping it up. But
yes.
I love my nieces as if they were my own children. I actually took care of my niece as if she were my child for like 4 months.
Continue. We're gonna continue.
Oh, he doesn't get the fucking buzzer?
How did that happen?
I don't know. What did you do?
I was just holding the mic. I'm so sorry. Is there a way to fix this? Oh, it's okay. I'll buy another one for you. I'm sorry.
Why were you touching it? There's
Did I not warn you that I am like this? That I'm a problem? Literally, there were so many warnings. There were so many warnings. In the pilot episode, I grabbed the mic and I was like,
Grabbing stuff.
that's what I do. You were yelling at me. You were yelling at me the last episode that I was gonna buzz you, and I was literally just like, that was me. I don't know how this happened.
In conclusion, but
why doesn't
in
this-
conclusion,
It moved
you
last
can have
time.
pineapple on pizza. You
It
can
moved
have
last time.
You can have milk or cereal before your cereal. What? No, your milk before your cereal or cereal before
Anyways,
your milk. Doesn't matter.
individuality is embraced here.
Exactly.
How did
The more
this
different you are, the more
I
special you
genuinely
are.
don't understand.
And that will most likely conclude
Where did
this
this-
episode of
where
B
did
to
this
Z,
break?
not Z to bed. And we will continue on the next episode.
ZBJ.
I actually don't even know how this connects.
Oh, it's right here. That's where it's broken.
What? Are you
Like
sure?
there. Like that.
Is that how it was set up?
Yeah, like that. See?
Super glue! How did this happen? What the actual fuck?